There's like no sides with pizza. That's how good pizza is. There's no sides with pizza.
Like it.
Even if there's sides with steak. Like if you make a steak, you don't just eat a steak. You know what I mean? It's like asparagus or potatoes or something. No one just ever gave you a plate and was like, here's your fucking ribeye.
Yeah. Like
pizza, that's it. Like that's all you need is a pizza.
The only size for pizza is like other like pizza elements, like cheesy
Ranch dressing.
like cheesy bread with like pizza sauce.
Right. Which is like part of the pizza, but you're paying extra for it. They just like assembled the pizza and sold you another item.
They sold you less of it. They just fully doubled down on this.
And you fucking hard. We gon' eat without a restaurant. You ain't reading what I'm saying, changing up your font. Fuck your mom, your uncle, and your...
Started from now. Yo, welcome back. It's Zako and Chris with Leased Minds.
You don't want me to, I can't introduce myself. You want to introduce me and you?
Okay, go ahead.
I was actually just rolling. Intro. We don't need an intro. Welcome back to Leased Minds, everybody. Man, dude, I miss your face. It's been a long time.
This milk chocolate, you miss this?
It's been way too long, man. It's been like 3 weeks. Actually, it hasn't been like 3 weeks. It's been like a week since we've recorded. We had some technical difficulties. We lost a couple pods, which is like 3.5 hours of my life. So I'm happy about that. And Sean. So not only did we waste our life, we actually brought our friends down that dark path too. Wasted his life too. Sorry about that, Sean. Son of a bitch.
We'll just definitely have to do another pod with Sean and then do one with Kave. I just did for everyone that's watching this or listening to this, I actually did a podcast with the podcast 30-Year-Old Virgin. Go to 30yearoldvirgins.com. You can check that out. We talked about the documentary, The Minimalist. Yeah, and just like lifestyle and overall culture and societies.
Definitely want to touch on that in this podcast too. It's kind of going to be scrambled. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're coming off of a couple holidays. Everything's been crazy. Probably been seeing relatives that you guys don't want to see anymore. Maybe some in-laws. All that shit's gone, and now you're fucking back to work.
Yeah.
We got to deal with that shit. I think it's called the post-holiday hangover.
It's definitely a hangover. It's absolutely like a time to reevaluate life.
Absolutely, it's fucking terrible to be honest.
It is. It's awful. Like I can't stand it. It's almost like God, I might as well just like worked a few more days so I didn't like feel free. It's like that little bit of freedom that you have, and then, like,
don't get too comfortable. I need to do something.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, it was good, man.
Do you have any? Obviously, I'm gonna ask you the question. Did you make any resolutions?
No, I'm not a big resolution guy. I feel like if there's something in my life that needs to be changed, I'm not gonna wait for a day to change it, because if that happens, I already failed at that point, because I'm allowing like circumstances to dictate what I do in my life, and that's not how I choose to live.
Yeah, if I went an entire year without making necessary changes, it'd be a fucking bad year, man.
And I think that like you should always be growing and shit. You should always be reevaluating things. Obviously, I didn't do everything. It was a shitty year for everyone with 2016, and so like this year, I'm just gonna focus. I think mentally, like
not for everyone. Trump had a good year.
Yeah, and LeBron had a good year.
Yeah, LeBron had a good year. Wasn't too hot for like Steph Curry and everybody else. So.
No. The fuck them. They're millionaires. Like I don't give a shit about that. I actually get upset when people are like take that into like so personal about like some celebrity or some shit. It's like they don't give a shit about you.
What about it? Like what their political opinions are? Or?
No, just like or like them in general. They'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Something tragic happened to this person," and like you don't give a shit.
Kanye dyed his hair.
Yes, Kanye had a breakdown. Like your Uncle Jimmy been breaking down for 50 years. You didn't give a shit about that nigga. Like you can help him with his light bill and his car payment and made his life better. That's your own blood.
Yeah, but Uncle Jimmy didn't release College Dropout either, so fuck Uncle Jimmy. And he's an alcoholic that causes fights every Thanksgiving.
Why is my mom FaceTiming me right now?
You should answer. Put her on the podcast.
No, she doesn't need that right now.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy doesn't make good music though, so fuck Uncle Jimmy.
Uncle Jimmy loaned you that $5 back in the day. Get you Jolly Ranchers and shit.
Right.
Now you more worried about Kanye and the Kardashians.
No, I'm not. I guess I'm not a big resolutioner either. Maybe just because it's not the cool thing to do when you're fucking 29 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did watch that, and we talked about it earlier. I did watch that documentary called The Minimalist, and I don't agree with everything. If you guys aren't familiar, check out the documentary. Chris got me hip to it. It's called The Minimalist. It's on Netflix. Basically, it's about taking a wider view, or taking a broader look at the things in your life that make you happy, and whether it's actually something that makes you happy or something that society and pop culture is making you think is what's supposed to make you happy. Clothes, shoes, things like that, rather than actually like pursuing your own personal dreams and goals. You're more so relying on external influences to make you think what is going to make you happy and what you should buy next. And I really I took into account a lot of things. I've actually put some things into play. Like if you go around your house or your apartment right now and look at all the shit that's in your house and really like what's functional and what may be there for like aesthetics based on what everyone's telling you should have, or the things that you're supposed to have at 25 or 29 or 40 years old and things like that. It doesn't make any sense to really look at what's functional, what's a part of your functional day-to-day activities, what you need, and the things that you've just fucking bought and put in place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have like so many pair of shoes that are just like, I haven't even worn. I have 2 pair of Adidas that I just haven't worn, and they were cheap. I got them for the low. I liked them. And I'm just like, I'm going to just take them back because I don't need that shit. And I have like New Balances and shit that I just don't need. Like I'm going to take a big like crate and I'm tossing all that shit in there. And I'm just taking it back. I'm taking it to like, in your city, there's usually like some kind of secondhand thrift.
They're savers. They're savers.
So no, I'm talking about like a Plato's Closet, or like here we have Buffalo Exchange, where like you can take all your clothes back and they'll give you like not the full price. Yeah. Like I usually make like, I'll take a barrel of fucking clothes back, and I'll usually get like between like $100, $150 worth of stuff.
No shit.
Yeah. And then the rest, I'm gonna just take to the Goodwill because I'd rather just not even see this shit. Like I don't need it, man.
Yeah. So like when I got back, I recently went down to my hometown down in Beaufort, South Carolina for like 2 weeks, and I got back after watching that Minimalist, and that was the one thing I made sure I did. As soon as I got home, man, I backed up. I got 3 garbage bags full of clothes that I just don't need. You know what I mean? They're just all over, like shit that I've had for years. Button-up shirts that I'm never going to wear again.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit, you know what I mean? And hats that I'll never wear again, and all sorts of shit that I don't need. And like you said, I put all my there's an app out there called OfferUp. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. It's kind of like it's an easier type eBay. It's all for like local transactions and shit like that, where you can sell a bunch of stuff. So obviously I had a bunch of like Cleveland gear, being from Cleveland, that people just eat up. Dude, Cleveland, Ohio fucking loves Cleveland shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw all that on there, and I put every single pair of my shoes on OfferUp. Other than I've got a pair of boots and I'm rocking Chuck Taylors. That's it, man. I'm going back to the old school Chuck E. T's.
Yeah, I mean, that's what my shoes of choice is, like Jordan 1s, Nike Dunks, and Chuck Taylors. That's 80% of my shoes. Like 90% of my shoe wearing.
Do you wear Nike Dunks only because you've never been able to dunk before?
Look, I've dunked on some hoops before.
You dunked Oreos in the milk, and that's it.
Hey, doesn't mean it wasn't no 12-foot rim, but I just dunked, nigga.
You lowered it down to 7 or 8 feet.
Yep, yeah, I was punching out.
You've all been there. It's always on your neighbor's rim too, because you're gonna fuck that rim up by the end of the day.
I think if I was disciplined, I could dunk. Like if I took like a fucking.
Think that's all it takes?
No. Okay, so right now I'm like 215-ish. Like if I work really hard to like drop down to like 180, 175, 180, like really work, squatted, deadlift a lot, I think I could probably get one dunk in. You know Mark Cuban did that, right?
Really?
Yeah, he
structured his workouts for that.
Legitimately, I'm gonna post this on
incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it on leasedminds.tv, just like the top build it yourself podcast, like the top 3, because his was like amazing. Like one of the add-ons at the end of his podcast episode with them was the fact that he like trained like I think like a couple years just to be able to dunk the ball once, and he did that shit.
Dude, that's pretty epic story.
When I was like doing before I like hurt my knee, I was like doing a lot of deadlifting, a lot of squatting. Like I could touch the rim. I could, and I could never touch the rim before. I'm like 5'9", and like, in Tim's.
I'll give you 5'9".
In Tim's.
Hey, on the computer screen we're the same height, man.
But yeah, so but like I could grab rim after that, and I like so my vertical definitely went up. But if I can't anymore just because I hurt my knee, and I haven't been deadlifting and squatting as much as I should be. But once I get back, I'm sure I'll be like,
dude, I don't remember the last time I just fucking jumped. Like that's how little of like cardio or like intense activity I do. I don't remember the last time I just was like, I'm gonna fucking jump.
I get, dude. I love to play ball, man. Like it's just like one of those things that like I'm never until my grave. I'm gonna be that old guy out there trying to play some ball, trying to picks and shit. Yeah, man.
That's really good for you.
That's my shit, man. Yeah. First love.
I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't like to move too fast. I just kind of go in the gym, find a bench, and sit down and do a bunch of stuff. I like to move too fast. My heart starts going too quick. I need to reassess what I'm doing.
See, I'm the opposite. I like to like move. I like to be in something that I'm not even thinking about the activity. So
I know, because we were supposed to start this pod at 3:30, and when I FaceTimed you to start this, you were on the treadmill. So yeah.
Which is the worst. Oh, dude! Like I watched I didn't even finish the episode, but the show I think it's called the OV.
It's the OA, right?
The OA, dude.
I saw that on there. What's that about?
It's about this chick who disappeared like 7 or 8 years ago, and all of a sudden like shows back up, and she has all these different abilities and so forth, and she sees things from a different perspective, and she's like she was blind when she was like went missing, and now she can see. And so, like, she has all these different abilities and shit that are freaking. And she sees things. So she talks different. She looks different. Or she doesn't look different, but she has, like, scars and shit all over her. And she can't explain where she was or why she was gone or how she got her sight back. But
that's wild. Some
of the conversation interactions she has with people are just, dude, some great writing in that shit. Because, like, she is seeing things from a different perspective because of her experiences, but she can't explain them. But the way she talks to people, she's like touching them. Oh, it's great, dude. You just gotta watch it. I mean, I'm recommending it, and I haven't even finished the first episode.
The OA.
Yeah, dude. It's deep. I like deep shit like that. As you guys can, if you ever listened to this pod before, like I like to go into different layers. I guess because I'm exploring myself still, and I still feel lost as a human being, but I feel like I'm not as lost as others because I'm on the search and I know things aren't right,
Dude, you know what's been happening to me a lot lately along the lines of that?
Yeah.
I'll find myself studying, and when I say studying, like literally, like you said, just like studying like the world, like, and it'll just be random, like web surfing. And my web surfing's kind of evolved over the years, obviously, like as I've gotten older and as we've started Leased Minds, and I'm trying to really learn more about the world that I can't experience, like in the culture that I'm in now or was raised in and or locally and things like that. And it's like I'll learn all this information and I'll be like reading up on something and getting all this information, and then I'll like start to get depressed, man, because it's like, dude, I'll learn something that I feel like I almost feel robbed that no one thought it was important for me to know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going through school or something like that. That's the opportunity where they're supposed to be teaching me the shit that I'm supposed to know. You know what I mean? And I'll learn something and be like, how the fuck did I make it through all those years of education, through fucking college, getting a bachelor's degree, and no one ever told me that shit.
Yeah.
I still don't know what my mortgage statement means. It just comes, and I pay them. I have no idea where that money's going now. That's a lot of money.
Dude, Oliver Stone has this like 10 episode series on Netflix. It's like the true history of the United States and shit. And it just like breaks down like from pretty much World War I to like current day, like all the bullshit that like we learned in school. It's like completely fabricated, like just bullshit, just like curved it to make America look great. But it was like a lot of bullshit, man. Like the two things that stood out the most was like in World War II, like seemed like American joining World War II was what solidified it for the Allies, but it was really Russia that Russia bossed up, and like once I'm not sure how much of the history you know, but like Russia was on the side with Germany for a long time because they didn't want Germany to invade them. And then like Hitler was arrogant and shit and just ended up invading them anyways. And so, but Russia was like, fuck that, dude. They bossed up. They like held, like it was, if you as a soldier for Russia, if you went the other way, like you get shot. Like it was no retreating. So
I see what you're saying. So like in battle.
In battle, there was no retreating. They're not getting up ground. If you're pretty much a traitor, if they see you retreating.
Yeah. So it's like full go.
Dude, it was full go. I mean, they destroyed a lot of Russian ground and stuff like that. But dude, they held on, man, and that pretty much turned the war around. And so that was the one thing that like was.
What war was this?
This is World War II.
Okay. And if you guys are, by the way, not to cut you off, but if you guys are watching the YouTube video, we're going to try to put the link down below through Chris's conversation, so you'll be able to figure out where that's at that he's talking about. Yeah,
it's on Netflix. It's Oliver Stone's, I think like the true American history, some shit like that. And then the second thing that I realized that we learned was true, but it's actually a lie, is that when we dropped the nukes on Japan, like it was completely unnecessary, and Japan was going to they were looking to negotiate a truce and the end to everything before we even dropped the bomb, but America ended up doing it in order to like show their strength to Russia, because they knew that like, okay,
so it was like it had nothing to even do with Japan at that point. It was
nothing to even do with Japan. It was
collateral damage.
Exactly. And Japan didn't like, they hadn't surrendered, but they were negotiating like shit with the Allies. But they were just like, fuck it, like we have this nuke, we want to show what we can do.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of people lost their lives over a fucking, like, it was a muscle flex, and it didn't do anything because Russia got nukes caught up with us shortly after, you know. So it's just shit like that you realize, man, god damn, man, all those souls just.
And not only that, like the lasting effects that it had on people that survived and like their kids, or like genetic
effects and shit like that. Yeah, man.
That was fucked up. Actually, didn't the guy that dropped that nuke, didn't he kill himself? Is that a myth?
The guy that dropped the nuke, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I know that like the scientists who developed the technology was like.
Well, I know the scientist that was behind it. It may have been him. I think someone who had something to do with basically the nuke and end up killing themselves.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is like all the scientists that worked on it and were like part of like developing it before they even dropped it. And I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, Truman, who was the one that like okayed it. He was in office when it happened. Everyone was like, Truman, like, do not do this. Like it is not. It's like it's the effects of it will be terrible. It's like like from Einstein to the I can't pronounce the guy's name who actually obviously like advanced the technology enough for it to get where it was at. But it's all, I think his name is Hawk. It's like some German name or some shit. But yeah, but everyone was like, don't do this, don't do this. And he was like, man,
dude, how as a human being can you pull that trigger? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think you rationalize shit like that. You're just like, man, this is what America needs. I mean, I'm sure he rationalized it to the point where like this is I mean, the dialogue that it is in the United States is that by dropping those bombs, it saved a lot of American lives. But if you watch the documentary, you'll see that not really. And I think it was, I want to say Russia's invasion on. That's the thing. Like, I'm going on a tangent, and I don't want to do this, but just watch it. Like, Russia made a deal that, like, if they invaded Japan, they would get like a certain amount of land and certain in this agreement. And America didn't want to follow through with that, and they thought, okay, well, like, if we drop this nuke before Russia invades Japan, then like we good. We ain't got to give all this shit we overpromised Russia.
Yeah.
But they dropped the nukes, Japan still didn't surrender, and Russia invaded anyways. And then America and the Allies.
A bunch of people just
it's fucking bullshit, dude. And this is like, all this is like what has evolved to where we're at right now to like our issues with Russia, like the policies and shit like that. Dude, and like...
Isn't it wild that no one ever teaches you like those things in like class?
Yeah, I mean,
it's all just what they want you to hear. It's all just what they want to plug into your brain.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's what people feel like. It's what the winners want the story to be. They want it written in a nice way that makes us look good, and it perverts the true story, and so you're left with bullshit and propaganda. It's a great documentary if you want truth about it.
What's it called again?
It's called The True. Let me see. Fuck.
It was by who? Oliver
Stone. Everyone should know Oliver Stone. He makes a lot of great movies. He's a director. He's made a lot of fucking historical great films it's The Untold History of the United States. And it's on Netflix. It is fucking excellent.
It's on Netflix, so call your cousin and get their login. You'll be
on YouTube and on Amazon TV, on iTunes. It's incredible. Like, this is like, if you want truth and you want someone to break it down, like, jeez, man, he did an excellent job, man.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's just another example of like the bullshit behind, like, I should know that. Someone should teach me. I shouldn't have to go on Netflix and watch Oliver Stone's The Untold History of America.
Yeah. So Oliver Stone's movies, I mean, he's done Natural Born Killers, classic, Platoon, classic, Born on the 4th of July, Any Given Sunday, Wall Street, freaking Alexander. Dude, he's Scarface. Wow. Dude, he's a man. Like, how do you not watch this shit? Don't be a hoe.
Hey, so how's your sets been going? How's stand-up been working for you?
Set's been good, man. I actually did a show in Cranston, Rhode Island last Friday, and it went really good, man. Like, I told you, like, I hadn't written. My plan was like during the holiday to write, and I didn't do any of the writing I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to have a whole new set before I even got back, and I didn't write. I don't know why. I think like I just wasn't motivated. I just wanted to rest, and I don't know. But
you have a specific time of the day that you like to write?
Well, okay. So here's what I've been like trying to plan my life a lot better. So I've started to.
Good idea.
Yeah, so what I want to do is like try to first thing in the morning to 12 o'clock, like even while I'm like working and shit, I want to be doing creative shit like in my mind, like so like writing in the morning and shit like that, and which is like the optimum time for people to be creative. They say it's statistically.
Mhm.
And then afternoon, after lunch, I wanted to start learning. So like podcasts and like books on tapes and shit like that. So, but for me, it's like writing is such a weird thing. I write best right after a set. Cause I'm like so amped up, and I've heard so many other like comedians go, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna take this ideal that planted a seed in me. I'm gonna totally flip, because like his little thing that he like was a kind of like a side joke or something like that.
You could turn into something a lot bigger.
Yeah, and
that's maybe something I've been taking into account, or I've been taking notice in as well.
And maybe it was just like a little element like of that he did. It just was a topic, and I was like, oh, like he looked at it this way. I see it from like the over here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. So So I wrote it. I mean, I wrote a couple of new jokes yesterday. One was one that I've been sitting on this joke for probably like 2 years, that I said it once and it like went over well, but it was too long and drawn out, and I finally landed on how to say it. And so like I'm excited about that.
You haven't tried it out yet?
No, I tried it out. So I'll tell you the joke how it was before. So, and it was like,
you're gonna give us the bench player version of it?
No, I can't even do it because I don't want to like say it, but it was, yeah, I'll record it and I'll put it on YouTube when I execute it. But I'm gonna put some of my sets on YouTube soon, because I write enough to like toss shit on YouTube. Like a lot of people don't like their shit on YouTube and stuff, because like usually like comedians use the same set over and over again. But, I write a lot, so like my sets are going to be drastically different than like when you see them. Like from 3 months ago, like my sets like pretty much totally different. Like I use some of the funny jokes that like have been working, and that's what I did on Friday. Like I meshed like some of my new stuff with some of my old stuff that worked. It worked out well. But yeah, it was a good experience, man. I look forward to like doing some more shit, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, so the one thing that I've always been thinking, so I've been writing a lot too, and I kind of agree with you. Like I'm best right in the morning. Typically the first thing I'm thinking about when I wake up, and it kind of helps me get out of bed and get motivated that I'm doing something for myself. And I've always thought that. So I always thought when you wake up in the morning, you should always do something for yourself before you should do something for anybody else. And I'm not talking in a selfish way, like go fucking feed your kids or something like that. I'm talking about like before I have to go to work, I want to make sure that I accomplish something for myself that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like as soon as I wake up, what helps me get out of bed that early is the fact that I know I can go downstairs, get the coffee, and just start writing jokes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I also notice what you're saying too. After I leave a set or after I leave a show, there's just little things that I'll pick up, and they're just little seeds that I'm blossoming in my head that I'm like, okay, I can kind of turn this around. And sometimes it's just a word that someone says.
Yep.
Just like a funny word. And I'm like, oh, that had a shit ton of consonants in it. Let me just use that word and write a joke off that. So it's like that. So it's not like, obviously you're never going to want to take someone else's joke, but you can always spin it into your way. And obviously, like my character's a lot different, or me on stage is going to be a lot different than anybody else. So the way that I'm going to tell jokes never really going to be like anybody that I've seen so far. I think that's making me nervous though, is I'm more of a storyteller. So storyteller has its super highs, but it's got the dark lows, man, because if that punchline doesn't hit, you fucked.
Yeah. Exactly.
You gotta walk them through this. And I've been chopping away and trying to get, trying to minimize as many words as possible. And it's starting to change my way of thinking and the way that I want to present some of these jokes. Like I had a joke before that the one joke literally was about 1.5 minutes long. And now the punchline comes a lot quicker, maybe about like the 4th or 5th line. So it's like, it might be a 30-second joke now. I think eventually as I get better and progress, that joke can, bloom out to be like 1.5 minutes long and actually work if the punchline is a killer. But I think for right now, it's best suited to just be 30 seconds long. And the way I want to present some of these jokes, being like a storyteller comic, is going to be like that. Like I want to try these little 20, 30-second snippets first, 15, 20, 30-second snippets first. And then if they're landing and they're funny and it's just a funny topic, maybe it's a current event topic or something like that, then I can grow a story around that.
Yeah. Like I have this joke, and I'll give like part of it off. It's it's about like it's like about like I wish I was gay.
Yeah.
So like, and then like but I could go. I make that joke. It's probably like a 2-minute joke of my set. But if I had 20 minutes, I could go 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And my new joke is like, at the new joke that I've been working on for a year, it's going to be follow that like right up with like how fucking like thirsty guys are.
Yeah.
Like, sex. So like, oh man, I can't. And it's such a story. Like it feels so good to even think. I love jokes like that where you're just like, oh, this stuff feels so good to like walk them down this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like walk the audience down. Like it's gonna be a whole fucking like setting. It's gonna be like a meeting. There's gonna be like a whole culture involved.
So have you tested out snippets of that joke?
Now, the first time I wrote the joke, I tested it out and it went over well. But I haven't tested it out at all yet.
Okay.
Like the new version. Yeah. So it's gonna. I just know. I know when jokes are gonna work.
Yeah.
I laugh.
You feel something when you're writing.
Yeah.
Just when you're writing them, you feel it.
And sometimes, and the jokes that don't work are the jokes that are like you write it thinking that like people are gonna find this funny, and those are the jokes that don't work. It's like if I write a joke and I'm like I laugh, I'm like okay. This isn't just that people are gonna think it's funny. This shit's just fucking funny, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the fun part about writing, man, is that you're solving a puzzle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can relate it kind of to like anybody writing music or anything like that, where they're trying to figure out what words are going to work at the end of sentences and how they're going to say their synonyms and things like that. And that's how you kind of have to structure these jokes, because you can tell the same exact joke 100 different ways.
Yeah.
Depending on word placement and the words you use and where you place them and things like that, and making sure you save your punchline or your punch word for the end. Everything seems to kind of come together as you're writing. Like I've got 2 jokes right now. So like my opening set is probably about 4 jokes. There's an opener and then there's about 4 jokes after that. Mm-hmm. 5-minute set. 2 of the jokes I absolutely love. And those are the ones I work on every single day, man. And it's like I've been copying and pasting and cutting shit all over the place on these jokes, because every time I think about it, I'll see something else that can go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So writing to me is a lot of fun. So even, I mean, anybody out there that's even aspiring to be like a comic or a comedy writer, dude, if you guys haven't started writing yet, as soon as you start writing, if there's even any sort of passion behind it, you're gonna watch that bloom and you're gonna go deeper into that rabbit hole, because now it's like, dude, any free time I have right now, I'm writing.
Yeah. And like I write, so like I have my own little like home studio, so like I write music too, like when I'm just as an exercise, as fun and shit. But like it's weird because like when you write a song, it's like punchline, and then that will, or like one line, and that starts the song. Yeah. Like something you think of. And you have to write fucking full verse, hook, full verse, hook, maybe another full verse or like a bridge or something like that. For like comedy, like your punchline is that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like
people can't be like, I like the chorus or the beat, but I didn't really care for the words. Like, yeah,
exactly.
Gotta work.
Yeah, exactly. But it starts from that punchline, and it's like, okay, now I can like, you build the car differently from that point. Like, okay, now you start with the fucking engine. Yeah. And
you start with a funny idea, and you have to build a story around that.
Yeah, and with music, you start with like one wheel. And then it's like, okay, now I got this fucking wheel.
You gotta make a Ferrari
out of it. Exactly. So it's different, man.
Everyone always ends up with some fucking Sundance.
Exactly.
Kia Rio.
Yeah, but it's definitely. I feel like those things are. I feel like everyone should experience that. Everyone should like write a song should tell a joke, write a joke, and tell it. Like those are things that make life. And like the thing is, so I did that shit with the minimalist podcast conversation with 30-year-old versions.
Yeah.
And like I listened to it afterwards, and like the whole time, like Kaveh was saying, well, like he kept on reiterating, like it can't be all about like money, and it can't be all about like we keep on bringing like the conversation back to monetary issues.
Yeah.
And me and Sean never really answered his question because he was saying, I think he was saying, and Kaveh, you can correct me if you're wrong if you're watching this. I think he was saying that if you have all the money in the world, like why don't you just buy shit you want to buy because you have it? And I never answered him, and so I'm going to do it now. Yeah, you can buy you have all the money in the world, you can buy whatever you want to buy, and it's not an issue. But it's about what makes you happy and re-examining that. So the only thing I can say that you can buy anything you want. You have the money and shit, like buy whatever you want, but examine your motives of buying what you want. Because the best feeling that I've ever had the best feelings I ever had in my life is like getting that girl that you like the first time she says
that money can't buy.
Yeah, like the first time she says she likes you too, and the first time you like hold her hands and like kiss her.
It's been a long time since you've experienced that though.
Well, like yeah, obviously. No, but and then like the first time being on stage and like hearing people laugh and like getting off stage and just like people fucking still laughing and still clapping. There is no better fucking feeling than that, man. And all the feelings in the world. There's nothing that...
Think about the percentage of human beings that get to experience that. Less than 1%.
Never.
Less than 1%.
If you think about the fact that that's one of people's most feared things, like more than like death and shit like that, is like public speaking.
Absolutely. And how long have you been on stage? Months? Couple months now?
Yeah, well, this is my re-up. So, like, I was doing this back in the day, as I said in one of our podcasts. So, officially back for, like, 3.5 months or so.
Okay, so question. What's your confidence level going on stage now in terms of how nervous you are to get on stage compared to what it was when you first started?
I'm still scared of shit.
Okay.
Each and every time. Okay. Especially a new audience in a new place. It like doubles the fear.
Even if you're around other comics that you've been with before, that you've gone
100%. Even worse, because it's like if you know they're good and they're doing their set and they're killing it, and then you have to go up and like there is no shelter. There's no shelter. And and the thing is, so I am one of those people. If I'm up like towards the end, if let's say there's like 6 comics going, and like I'm the third one, I'm like, okay, cool, because I'm the third one, and I know that I'm better than like my set's better than like the first or second guy that goes up. But if I'm the first one to start this bitch, I'm like, jeez, I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. And then once I get on stage and tell my first joke, like I'm in the zone. Like I'm just like, I don't think about it. All I'm thinking about is like, what joke comes after this? How does this seamlessly transition to this? Okay, here's this audience doing something funny. Let me comment on that. Yeah, over there, he has glasses on. He looks like this. I'm gonna comment on that. Like everything's all cylinder. And if I'm the only times the times I've bombed the worst is like I wasn't nervous. I wasn't like fired. Like it's something about that tense moment that like, oh man. Like,
but being tense and nervous brings the best out of you, I think. I think when you start getting too comfortable is when you get up there and you're flat. Mm-hmm. And that goes to that's with anything. I mean, I'm in sales, so I get comfortable in my job and I go into a meeting and I'm comfortable because I've done this 1,000 times before. I go in flat and I'm just like, I'm not really thinking about it. But if I'm before, I'm like, okay, you got to do this. If I overthink, I perform better.
Yeah.
So I think if you're not overthinking, you're selling yourself short.
Yeah. So this Friday when I did that show, I did dude, I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. I don't know what set to do. And like I was changing my set minutes before I'm going on stage, like, and I'm like, all right, and then I'm like,
you just have these jokes in your pocket that you can remember on top of your head.
No, I'm like using my iPhone to like go shift through jokes and see but like I could just go off the head and do it, but like it wouldn't be as clean and seamless when I get on stage. So like I'm like, I was nervous as shit, dude. I was like, man, like I'm not ready. And then it's like, in our next comic, Chris Thomas, here we go. And then you're just like, but when you're on there, it's like I don't wear it. I don't wear my nervous. You can't tell. Like I'm just like cool and chill because
on the inside you're in pieces.
Until I say that first joke and it worked. And that's why I always say something that's like my first joke's always new. It's always something that I think about right there. So oh man, if I had I do. I'll play if you guys I don't think it'll play it.
Yeah, it'll play. Can you play it from your computer?
Yeah.
If you can play it from your computer, I should be able to hear. As long as the Samsung audio can pick it up.
Okay, we'll see. Oh yeah, it should be able to. I'll play my first joke that I did last because I'll never probably use this joke again. So you guys can.
Is it a video or just the audio?
It's a video.
If it's a video, you should be able to do a share screen, and we'll get the screen and the video, and the audio.
I don't know if I want y'all to have all that shit. Shit. Okay, here's vlog episode 1. I had to edit some video shit. Pretty soon, probably tonight or tomorrow. Let's see.
Like an iPad.
Can you hear that?
2, I guess, because I don't have one.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So this is the set you did where?
This is what I did Friday. All right.
A couple times, and he'll be doing some shows on the Cape with me very soon. Give it up for the very funny Chris Thomas!
What up, everybody? How's your night been? Good? That's good. I'm actually filming this right now, so like laugh at my jokes. Or I'll just follow you out to the parking lot. Has anyone ever filmed themselves having sex? Yeah, don't. That is a shitty idea. It sounds good on paper, and like the girl is good, but I just look like shit. I'm like, who is that? The camera puts on like 85 pounds and wasn't in my dick. That was only like 12 pounds. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
So that's like, so like I just did that like soft little like opening joke. It was like not even that funny, just like kind of off the cuff and shit, like bullshit and stuff. And then
gauging the crowd though.
Yeah, exactly. And then I go into my set from there. So I won't play it.
Everything went silent when you said you're from Cleveland?
No, there was actually someone else from Cleveland in the audience, so he started cheering, and then I went off the cuff on some shit with him. Like, so then it went to like, then I went going to my set, and then I go to like my opening set. And so
that's awesome, man. What else is new? What else is going on? What's going on in the world right now? David Blaine shot himself in the mouth. You see that?
No.
Yeah, dude. He tried to do a bullet catch trick and didn't fucking catch it.
Wow.
Yeah. Shot himself right in the mouth. No, I don't think he's dead. If he was dead, I don't think I'd just be laughing about it like this right now.
You don't know David Blaine.
No, he shot the fuck out of himself for sure.
Okay, you know, Kenny shot himself in the face.
Who's Kenny?
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. So it's like, you don't know David Blaine, nigga.
Oh,
you see him on TV.
That wasn't like your brother or anything before I started laughing.
No.
Yeah, I guess I don't know Dave Blaine. He's never really paid one of my bills, so he can shoot his hat again if he wants. I mean, first of all, if you're trying to catch a bullet, like you're gonna shoot yourself. That you just know that's gonna happen at least once. So I don't feel too bad for you.
Yeah, but he's an illusionist, so it's like I don't understand. I don't know. I guess this is above my pay grade because I don't understand where he would
Something went wrong.
catch a bullet.
Something went wrong.
It's like a 2 out of 10 times. I may not be able to catch a football. Like
I know,
right? You throw it too hard.
How pissed you think he really was though that someone actually put a real bullet in that gun?
Yeah.
Are you fine? What the fuck? Like someone got fired. Someone for sure got fired.
Someone's paycheck came up short. All right. You think that's funny? Put this real bullet in there.
That would suck, dude. You ever got shot? I just asked you because you're black. I figured.
Yeah, no.
No, me either.
Dude, my dad got shot, which is funny because I didn't even know it until like I was like probably 18. And then like he was telling a story to someone else, and I'm just like, how didn't you like tell? Like, how do I know you? You're my dad.
Right.
You never told this story to me.
You think was he like, oh, I never told you this? Like,
I didn't even say anything because he was in the middle of the story. So I'm just like listening to it, and I'm just like, what? Like,
yeah, that's wild. Those are always the crazy stories when you're like, dude, that's something you should have fucking told me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Your whole life not knowing your dad got shot.
Exactly.
Where did he get shot?
I think in his leg. So like the story happened was, and even when my friends are hearing this, they're gonna think it's crazy because my dad's like the coolest, nicest, like always joking around. Obviously, like I'm always joking around. So like just think that this happened is like crazy. But he used to work at a gas station, and so long story short, like my dad's like really good at math for some reason. It didn't pass on to me, but like. Whatever the guy said, like he was arguing with the guy who thought my dad like shorted him on money that he had paid. And he's like, no, like I'm certain. So like they're going back and forth. So my dad's like, all right, whatever. Grabs the chains, goes back to the guy and throws it at him. And then the guy just pulled out a gun and just like shot him.
That seems so drastic.
Yeah, and I think it's because like my dad was like always. My dad's still like a big guy. Like he played football at Fisk, and he was like one of the it's a black school. It's a HBCU, historically black college. I don't think they have a football team anymore. But back in the day, like if you were black and you were good at football, like you went to HBCUs. But he was always like a big dude, like and so I'm sure
so drastic.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure like if you like feel disrespected and someone's like in your grill, who knows? This could have been.
I'm not shooting them. I'm for
sure.
There's a 99.9% chance I don't even have a gun.
Yeah.
So there's that. I gotta somehow pass that hurdle.
But if you're the type of guy that carries a gun,
yeah,
you're the type of guy. You're the type of guy. You're probably that.
What's your dad shorting this guy on?
I don't
what kind of shit was your dad into?
He was working at a gas station. He was just like, dude, no, like you gave me this much, and he's like, no, I get like what.
This is the fucking guy that worked at the gas station shot your dad?
No, this is like a customer.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so so that happened, and then so shot him, and
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Lucky he didn't hit any like vital organs or something, just his leg.
Yeah.
And I've always like noticed that he had like a mark, like a scar on his leg and shit. But
just never thought to ask him.
No, I just thought he played football his whole life and played all sports, so I figured it was from that. But
I feel like you guys have some family secrets. You guys should have a sit down.
Every family has secrets.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure. But you know,
my mom doesn't even know I have a podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty sure about that, actually.
People don't need to know everything, man. And like people, and the only thing that like sharing too much, I hate those people who share too much. Like tell you the whole life story and just met them. Like I don't
yeah.
You're just inviting other people's opinions into your life, and then you're not inviting like true, well thought out opinions. You're just writing opinions based on like whatever they experience and whatever they think is cool. Like if you invited everyone's opinion to your life and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go do stand up, they would be like, no, dude, like you're not gonna. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be scary. And now you're just inviting their fears projected on you. Yeah, it's gonna be scary. What if you bomb? What if you don't do well? Like all these. Those are your fears. Those aren't my fears. Like, right. I'm going into this. Bring me the bombs. I know I'm gonna bomb. I bombed a ton of time. I failed a ton of different things. It's gonna happen, but I'm gonna get better. Like I'm not gonna live in this. I'm not gonna live with my fears, your fears, my mom's fears. Like I'm just gonna live my life and figure it out.
And people that tell you too much when they first meet you always tell you some weird shit too. Yeah, it's never just like, oh yeah, this is my favorite show. It's always like, yeah, one time I had to clap.
Yeah,
like, way too
much. Then I got shingles. And then,
they never tell you. It's always like the weirdest shit, and you're just like, what the fuck is it?
Exactly.
Are you serious? It tells me that the first night. You have to fucking clap.
But on the contrary, I feel like there's a lot of people who have stories to tell and have no outlet to tell them. And
get on YouTube.
Yeah, dude, we should do that. We should actually add that feature onto our page. Just like people tell your story and send it over to us. We'll post it up if it's good. Like,
there you go.
There it is.
You just created a section on our website.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'll text Jits and tell him he needs to add that.
Yeah, dude. That would be dope, man, because I want to hear. And then if it's a good story, we'll like
do a podcast.
Yeah, we'll call them up and fucking. Yeah, that's dope. That's a good
awesome.
idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna start getting. I got a couple. We got some cool things coming up, man. I know Chris has been doing some pods out there with some people and like had to sit down with some really interesting people. And I'm gonna be doing the same here. I'm hoping for next week to get one of the up and coming comedians here in the Cleveland area in one of our pods. Actually, I'm not hoping. I'm planning on it. I just got to figure out your schedule, Chris. So we're going to be pretty pumped about that. Also, I don't know, you guys have probably noticed, man, we switched up the way we're going to be presenting this material. We're using a different software right now so that we can seamlessly transmit our video and audio. So you should be seeing a lot more video on our website. That was a main goal for 2017. Is 2017? What the fuck year is it?
It's 2017, buddy.
Yeah, that's a main goal for us, is to get a lot more original content out there, whether it be videos of the podcasts or interviews with, like Chris said, really interesting people, some entrepreneurs, some comedians, and things like that. But also, we want to put your guys' face on the site too, man. So never hesitate, man.
Yeah.
Email us some shit. leastmindstv@gmail.com.
Yeah. Also, if anyone's in the Boston area, I'll be performing at the People Show on January 15th at Improv Boston. It's put on by Reese Cotton. She's a funny ass girl out in the Boston area. She's gonna be doing the pod too. So yeah, it's gonna be dope. And I'm gonna be in Cape Cod on February 2nd for a show at the Sea Dog. It's Sea Dog Comedy Show. If you like, look it up on Facebook, I'll be there. But yeah, it's some other cool shit coming up this month. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm in, obviously, as always, I'm in the Cleveland area. I start my first set on January 16th. I'm not letting any motherfuckers know where it's at. I'm there 3 or 4 times before I let anybody. 3 or 4 times. I'm gonna need to be up there for like 3 or 4 months before I tell anybody.
Yeah, that's it.
Where some other awesome comedians is going to be, and I know the only reason I'm saying these is because I know a lot of people are familiar with these areas, but are with these like restaurants and lounges. But like even myself, before I started really following comedy, I had no idea that they did open mics at these places. January 9th, they'll do, or so tomorrow, it's like Mondays at Barrio in Lakewood at 10 p.m. stand-up comedy. Tuesdays at Brothers Lounge at 9 p.m. stand-up comedy. January 11th, I'm going to be over at Happy Dog. My buddy John Bruton, he puts on an awesome show over at Happy Dog. So you'll be there. But yeah, if you guys have if you ever want to go see some stand-up, I know Cleveland's got an awesome scene for up-and-coming comedians, and even for comedians who come back in from like Chicago or that have been out in L.A. Cleveland's their comedy scene is a lot better than what I thought, man. So if you guys have any questions about where to go see some of the comedians, or even me, hopefully in the near future, feel free to shoot me an email or hit me up on Facebook, and we'll let you know like where all these open mics and comedy shows are.
Yeah, for sure.
How's the scene out where you're at now? Because you were living in Boston for a long time, right?
Yeah, the scene is pretty good. Like, I mean, I still go to Boston and do sets. Obviously, I have one on the 15th. So it's good. It's a lot of. Here's this little secret that.
Ooh, I love secrets.
Yeah, the scene is solid, and there is, if you perform well, people will help you out. Like, I perform well. The only way I have these shows on the 15th and on the 2nd, and then I have a couple more. And this month, I just forget where they're at. But it's just because people saw my set and they were like, "Yo, like you're funny. Like here's a show that I do." And it's like that is like the key is to like be funny, and then like there's someone to be like, "Okay, let me invite you to something that's not like an open mic." Like, and that's when you really get, because you get a great audience. So as long as so the scene is dope. You do have to have a period where you're just like doing open mics and shit like that before like someone will invite you to be like, "Yo, like let's do a show."
Yeah.
And so like I've been blessed to like have like people be like, "Yo, like come to this show that's not like an open mic." It's like we only have like
a nice
yeah, exactly. So you get a real audience and shit like that. But the secret is that
how nervous are you with those shows?
those are the fucking nerve. I think the one show that I told you that I did in Boston in Southie, I was like, I thought it was just gonna be like a little close room, and I'm like, dude, like there's so many people here, like I'm nervous as shit. I was shook. I was super shook. But so, and you always think like no matter how much confidence you have, like you always know that this can easily go bad.
This can go south quick.
Especially like how my mind works. Because this is like, I'm doing crazy shit. Like I'm not.
I always think like worst case scenarios.
Yeah,
always.
Me too.
Always.
You know how much I overthink. So I'm just like, oh, this is going to be bad. Like this is where I'm going to bomb. Like I'm bombing tonight. So, and then you have like that night there was just like killer on top of killer on top of killer. And I'm just like, God damn. Like, God, why did they put me up behind? Like, damn. Like,
how'd you do?
I did good. I did, and people like came up like, yeah, respect, dude. Like you did a good job. And a lot of them, like, yeah, I've only been doing this a couple of months. They were surprised at that, but
that's one of the coolest things about being in the comedian atmosphere. And it's not even about being around the comedians, man. It's something that has really, I think, getting involved in this stuff and just meeting the different like local comedians and stuff like that, you start to notice how much respect they have for even for fucking going on stage. You know, obviously I'm nervous, so I've got a couple people that are helping me out, that have been doing this for a while. And so I'm texting them every day. What do you think about this? Here's my time. Should I be going longer? Should I be going shorter? And I mean, constantly, they're always telling me, dude, the fact that you're going up, you're winning already.
Yeah.
So you realize how you're amongst supporters when you start to do something that you're passionate about, whether that's acting or getting into comedy or anything like that. That's the coolest thing about pursuing your passion.
Here's where I'm gonna have to disagree with you, because like the comedy is so much of a better circle because I was in music before. Like I've always been in music, like from like managing, marketing, promoting. Like
I say music. I keep saying music, but I don't know.
No. You didn't mention it, but you're saying like the kind of the culture. Of pursuing shit is like such a like welcoming, but like music is not. Music is fucking cutthroat, and it's fucking like niggas will hate on you like that. And there's like so many like people who think they're better. Like comedians are super humble.
Yeah, comedians have comedians require a different kind of confidence that you and I have gone over in other pods.
Yeah, it
like
is
over the top. I'll walk into a room and fuck your bitch type.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's more of like a humbled, like I'm doing it. I'm getting on stage and I'm staring death in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm delivering jokes.
There's nowhere to go. There's no beats. It's just like you and a microphone, and everyone has fucking bomb.
Yeah.
But like with
I walk up there, and then like you said, not only that, but there's so many variables, dude. There's so many variables. A song, there's no variables to a song. You make it, and it's the same shit. You play it in your car, you play it in your headphones, but it's the same fucking song.
Yeah.
There's so many variables. You walk in there, and there's been killer after killer on stage, or you walk in, everyone's been bombing, and you got to dig these fucking people out of this rabbit hole, or you walk in, and there's two people that are way too drunk to be in this bar right now. Who the fuck is giving out $2 Jaeger bombs? You know what I mean? And now you got to figure all of this shit out, and all you want to do is tell the set you've told 3 or 4 times, and everything's different now.
I just, in the middle of like you talking about that, I just realized that I forgot to tell a joke, one of my main jokes during my set on Friday. And I don't know how I forgot to say it.
Well, I don't know. You want to tell us?
And it just fucking like, it just made me angry. Like, I just got so insecure that I didn't tell that joke.
Yeah. But that's what I mean, it's like, dude, you can go over so many different things. And like, even me, like, I'll be on my, so for instance, do you practice your stand-up like in your room or anything like that? Do you say it out loud, or you just?
No, I just do it internally.
So the one time I say it out loud is to get timing, and like, because I want to hear my pauses, like if I say it, but I'm not acting it out. I'm just like literally saying it, pretending like I'm hearing a crowd. I'm probably not doing it right because I'm pretending people are laughing.
Yeah.
Happened the first few times.
I mean, me and you just have two different approaches to this. I can't overplan it. Like I have to just like, you see my like, not my notes for sets. It's just like this.
It's like a novel. Like I got. Like,
I can't do that.
Parentheses. Well, you don't have very good grammar anyway, so I would imagine your notes.
Yeah. Well, hey, it works. But like I can't overthink it, because if I overthink it and I overplan it, like it doesn't work for me. I like to be up there, and I like to leave room for me just to do it. Sometimes it backfires and I forget shit, and like I forgot a whole joke. But
you don't look at your iPhone when you're on stage, do you?
No, I never. Even
some people do. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's very. You'll see it a lot, just especially like in open mic, because they're just like trying. But I never do that. I just don't want to. I don't want that crutch. Just like I said, like I won't drink before a set, because I don't want that. I don't want any crutches to be like, oh, well, like now I need to do this, or now if it's not there, like no, it's like I'm just gonna do it, and like I'll figure it out while I'm in there, dude. And that's what like why I started saying that. Like you plan a lot. I can't plan that much, because if I overthink it, I won't do it. I'll think myself out of it. I just have to just fucking walk in the fire and fuck. And it's because I'm not that smart.
Throw yourself to the wolves, right?
Yeah, because I'm not that smart. I just learn really well from trial and error.
Yeah.
And so like I'm not gonna make same mistake over and over, but like I have to throw myself in there and.
I think we lost Chris. You there? I don't know what the fuck just happened. What just happened? You're back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Listen to the Matrix.
You're talking about you just had to throw yourself in the fire.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I'm just one of those people that I can't think about it. I just dive in the deep end, and fucking figure it out there. And that's why I learned. That's why I say to you, just dive. Don't think about it. Don't.
Yeah, and I think it's just because I'm just getting into it. I'm new, so I want to make sure. I think my biggest fear right now isn't even facing the crowd. I think I'm comfortable with public speaking enough that I can get through that. I think my biggest thing right now is that I'm more nervous about forgetting what I have to say, or even certain elements to my joke that I know are a necessity to the outcome of it, even if it's just certain words that I'm supposed to use that are funnier than others. I'm afraid that I'll forget those small details. And I mean, this is something that's brand new to me. I'm 29 years old and I've never done this before. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've never done this. I'm doing something. I'm trying to teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, dude, I've been watching this shit for my entire life. Now getting into it, I'm getting so much more respect for it. And I understand how difficult this shit is. I mean, I only have 4 or 5 jokes right now. You know?
Dude, I'm gonna play you the headliner of the show that I was on Friday, and just listen to. I'm not gonna play her whole set because obviously it's her set, but she killed it. And just like listen how natural she is with her shit. This is the difference between like someone who's a headliner and does HBO shit and someone who's just like my shit. Hold on, I'm about to play it right now.
You think that just comes from time and repetition?
Yes, and I think part of it is natural, but like
these guys, they're like, not another fucking broad. Jeez, this one's a fat one too. What the fuck? How you guys doing? Come on, get some life in here. What the fuck, man? You wanna get murdered? You wanna get murdered? Yeah, I am, because I am. I went to the doctor today. I got some really good news. I'm completely over my anorexia.
that's kind of hacky, but
Because you know that's what you were thinking. Holy shit! Who's the fat broad? How the fuck did she get that fat? I'll tell you, I was in a bad relationship with a guy, treated me like shit. He was abusive, worked on my self-esteem until I didn't have any more, so I ate him.
She from Boston?
Actually, I gained all this weight because I quit smoking. I feel a lot fucking healthier now. One good thing actually came out of gaining all this weight, though. I actually came up with a new prevention for AIDS. Gain 100 pounds and no one will fuck you. I actually think it's better to be too fat than too thin, though. I have a friend who's lost so much weight, but it's the first thing to go when a chick loses too much weight. They're fucking gone. She's totally flat-chested. Me and her at the mall the other day. I'm buying bras, so I'm in the fucking tent.
I'm not gonna play her. But dude, she like.
I mean, you can tell just the confidence level from walking on stage is different.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And that was like, those are her like starter jokes, dude. Her set was killer, dude. Like she fucking like seamlessly then started just like off the cuff with stuff. Her crowd work was dope. Like she killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I just got back in the gym for the first time in 2 weeks. It's the most time. It's no joke. It's the longest break of exercise I've had in my adult life.
Really?
I don't really know when my adult life started, but I'm going to say it was around like 21.
Yeah.
23. Maybe it's 23. Since I was 23, maybe the longest time. I'm lost in there, man. It's like walking into a new world. It's so weird. It's only been 2 weeks. I walk in, I'm like, I don't know what to work out today. Where the fuck am I at? Who are all these new people?
Yeah.
My foot's healing now, though, so I need to start doing legs again, so that sucks.
You had an excuse before.
Yeah, I had an excuse for it, so now I got to start doing legs again, which is the worst. I'd rather just, like, wear long pants the rest of my life. Yeah. Except for the beach. Like, that's the only thing that sucks. I got to go to the beach. Can't wear long pants to the beach. I could wear joggers on the beach. I've seen that before, but it doesn't look right.
Dude, but yeah, I haven't. The reason why I haven't taken a break is not just because of freaking like wanting to take a break. It's just like it's mentally. I need. I don't know.
Schedule, right? Yeah.
No, just mental. Like I don't know. I don't. There's no other point where I get. I mean, like write jokes, whatever. But like the mental aspects of like being how you feel after you work out and like how do you relieve some of that stress. It's like I can't. I don't think I'll do well with 2 weeks off, man.
Well, yeah, and mine was a combination of a few things. It was my foot's broke, so I can't really do cardio, and I was on vacation. So typically, if I go on vacation and I'm not staying anywhere that has a gym, I'll at least run or do something like that.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I can't run because I'm in a boot and I'm just stuck to the confines of Airbnb. So I didn't do shit for 2 weeks, and I gained about 10 pounds because I was eating.
Like a madman, I'm sure.
Like a savage. I ate everything.
And that's it, dude. Like, so the 2 hours or so that you don't spend in the gym, like if I don't go to the gym, I just eat that time away.
Yep. Oh, I'm not working out today. I might as well eat all these fucking nachos.
Yeah. Like it
you
snows.
put chips and dip in front of me, and I'll just eat that shit until like my hands will lose all their water from like osmosis of the a prune.
Like yesterday we got hit with like a huge snowstorm, and so like I was snowed in, so I just ordered a pizza and like I just ate the whole pizza.
I do that quite often without being snowed. It'd be like July. Pizza's bomb as fuck, dude. Pizza and chips. I don't care.
Nah, dude.
You
Yeah.
should serve those together. I don't know why they don't. There's like no sides with pizza. That's how good pizza is. There's no sides with pizza.
Like it.
Even there's sides with steak. Like if you make a steak, you don't just eat a steak. You know what I mean? It's like asparagus or potatoes or something. No one just ever gave you a plate and was like, "Here's your fucking ribeye."
Yeah. Like
pizza, that's it. Like that's all you need is a pizza.
The only size for pizza is like other like pizza elements, like cheesy
Ranch dressing,
like cheesy bread with like pizza sauce,
right? Which is like part of the pizza, but you're paying extra for it. They just like assembled the pizza and sold you another item.
They sold you less of it. They just fully doubled down on this.
Hey, do you want all this pizza for the same price? How about just the bread?
Yeah, how about we just cut this crust off and then you dip it in pizza sauce? Yeah.
All right, we'll sprinkle a little extra Parmesan on it to make you happy. The animal. Yeah, dude, that's funny as fuck. Yeah, dude, you need no sides of pizza. And then like, let's order a pizza. What vegetables should we eat with that?
More pizza.
Right.
They got really innovative. It was just like, let's charge you a little bit more, and we're at cheese. Is it called cheese bread?
Right. Vegetable. If you eat that celery that may come with your side of buffalo wings, you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
No one eats that celery. Fucking, what is that celery in there for? To make the box feel heavier so I don't feel shittier about my purchase?
Skinny ass wings. I can live off of wings though for some reason.
Oh, it's so good. Are you bone in or boneless?
I'm bone in.
Yeah, bone in for sure. I've evolved into bone in. I respect the bone in now.
I feel like
unless it's like actual, like I can do boneless if it's real like chunks of like white chicken meat. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll eat it, but it's like I prefer it's something in the bone.
Well, we're not talking about what we'd eat because that's a whole list of shit of what we'd eat.
It was some cheese on some cardboard.
Right. If
I try it out.
Oh, that just goes to show how good cheese is.
Yeah.
If you cut a square of cardboard right now, sprinkle cheese on it, put it in the oven for 30 minutes at about 375, I may take a bite out of it.
I'm definitely gonna eat it. If it's like at a party and it's like there, I'm like, I'm gonna just try this.
Yeah, I'll definitely eat that. Actually, one time I was staying at Chris's, and this is when I used to just kind of sleep there for like weeks on end when I didn't have a place to live back in college. And we got back from the bar. Obviously, I have no money, broke as shit. We're in Bowling Green. I'm starving. I'm upstairs in one of the rooms. I sneak downstairs. It's probably 3:30 in the morning. I sneak downstairs. I go in the kitchen. There's not much food in there, but I know I gotta eat something. Or I may die. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I go in the cupboards and I open the fridge and there's nothing, man. The only thing I could find is hot dog bun, peanut butter, and crackers.
No, it wasn't even a hot dog bun. It was like a steak sandwich bun.
It was a hoagie. It was a hoagie
bun.
So I put a bunch of peanut butter in this hoagie bun, and I was like, this doesn't look like something that's edible. I was like, I'll just put a bunch of crackers in it. I put a bunch of crackers in it too, and I was like, I'm about to smash. And all of a sudden, all I hear is I just hear footsteps coming towards the kitchen. I'm like, now all the lights are off in the kitchen because I'm trying to sneak this shit, right? So I open the microwave and I put this hoagie peanut butter cracker sandwich in the microwave and I shut it. And I did like the shut where like you close it all the way and then you hit the thing and then you shut it again so it doesn't like slam, you know what I mean? So I did that and then Chris just walks in the kitchen and turns the light on and there I stand in the darkness of a kitchen. Just staring at him.
Like in his boxers and shit. Just like
Chris goes, hey, what are you doing? I was like, all right, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I made a sandwich. It's in the microwave. It was like, dude, if you don't want a fucking sandwich, you can just eat a sandwich. Like,
you gotta hide it. Like,
and I had to admit, and then he was like, obviously, he goes, what kind of sandwich are you making?
because I didn't even know meat in there. like we had deli meat or something laying around.
No, it was just a peanut butter cracker
I was like,
sandwich.
peanut butter cracker sandwich. You get it? Like, what is this insulting to us? What do you think about us that you had to hide that peanut butter and cracker and hoagie buns was so
Like you were gonna walk in and be like, "You eating my fucking hoagie bun bits?"
8 scoops of peanut butter and not crackers too.
Oh, it better not be that crunchy.
And they were like club crackers too. They were.
Yeah, it's just a shitty sandwich all around. But for some reason, I thought for sure you'd be upset if I was in there just eating that sandwich.
Oh man, eating that peanut butter cracker sandwich. It hit it.
Yeah, it's one thing like if it was someone's like dinner leftovers from a steak restaurant or something. It was a fucking peanut butter cracker sandwich on a hoagie bun. It was like those hoagie buns that had like the fake slice on top too, so it looked like real expensive hoagie bun. But it was just like a fake white stain.
You eat it like it was like a gold brick or something. Like,
dude, I'll never forget how happy I was when you gave me the okay to eat that sandwich. And I no longer had to hide it.
I don't even know why I was up either.
Yeah. It's just like, you just knew. You're like, I think someone's in that fridge eating a hoagie bread.
I think I was hungry, but that story, that what I saw made me lose my appetite. I just went back.
You were hungry, but you walked in there and saw the only option that was there was peanut butter cracker sandwiches on hoagie buns. It wasn't worth it. You just eat some sleep.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I got to deal with this reality in the morning. I can't deal with this today.
Oh, shit. We got to start telling you more stories, more adventures from BG, but we're running out of time on this pod, but I'm sure we'll eventually. Well, shit, dude, that's a good first episode for 2017. Once again, we didn't talk about anything that we plan on talking about, but I think it's a great pod nonetheless.
Yes.
So, Chris, tell them your shows one more time if you want.
Okay. On January 15th, I'll be at Improv Boston. I think show starts at like 8:30. It's put on by Reese Cotton, who's hilarious. Check out some of her stuff online. I think she has her website. It's probably like reesecotton.com. She's funny. I'm gonna be in Cape Cod at the Sea Dog Comedy Show on the 2nd of February. I have another show too that I'm forgetting, but yeah, I'll start posting these on the website or something.
Yeah, start posting them on the site, so I'm sure people want to go check you out. I'm obviously not in stand-up yet. I got one more week off, and then we'll start on the 16th. But I'm just reading a text here that my buddy John sent over to me January 9th, 10 p.m. We're going to have a stand-up night at Barrio in Lakewood. So that's Mondays. Tuesdays at Brothers Lounge, 9 p.m. And January 11th at Happy Dog at 9 p.m. So that's Wednesdays at Happy Dog, which that place is sweet. They got build your own hot dogs, and there's actually going to be a hot dog in it. It's not just going to be peanut butter. You can do that shit. But that's it for me, man.
That's it for me.
Else? All right, man. Appreciate you guys.
LeasedMinds.tv, only Chris Allen at Gmail and Twitter or in Instagram.
I forget all my shit too. At Zako23 Ryan. There's not too many Zako Ryans out there, so if you just do a search in your little like magnifying glass, I'm sure I'll pop up. But yeah, leasedminds.tv, not .com. We don't have that much money yet, so see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.